Pay us what you owe us is not a slogan, it's a war cry.
Lindsay, WNBA players are sending a very frank message to the league during a very pivotal time. The All-Stars warming up in these t-shirts last night that read, "Pay us what you owe us." The game later drawing chants from fans echoing, "Pay them."
The numbers are shocking, and no one in the NBA or WNBA wants to talk about them. When rookie Caitlin Clark became the face of women's basketball, fans assumed she was making bank.
Better looking possessions of the day for Brazil. Here's Clark. Wow! You bet! From beyond the logo! And a little point out.
But then the bomb dropped. Her $76,000 rookie salary was less than what NBA water boys make annually.
When you look at the amount of revenue that the NBA is getting, they could move some of that money to the WNBA to invest.
$76,000 is not enough for someone you are looking to be the face of the league going forward.
Social media exploded, not just with outrage, but with confusion. How could a player filling arenas make less than a G League bench warmer?
And since it's off the record, here's all you need to know about Caitlin Clark. When we would go to away games, they always sold out. Unbelievable. So Atlanta would normally have 3,000, 4,000 people. Now they have 17,000 people, and they sold 1,000 standing room only tickets.
While NBA players sign $50 million contracts, WNBA stars still ride on a coach, share hotel rooms, and grind all year just to stay afloat. The worst part is most fans don't even know that the WNBA's entire payroll is less than Steph Curry's annual salary. And yet, these women are expected to train like pros, travel like rock stars, and compete at the highest level on 1/10 of a budget. This isn't just about fairness. It's about a system that profits off women's work, then tells them their value is aspirational. It's about fans who chant equal pay but don't buy tickets, and owners who pocket the difference. So if you're ready to see the cold, raw truth behind the NBA and WNBA money war, hit that subscribe button now, because what comes next will blow your mind. It's the oldest argument in the book. WNBA players don't bring in enough money. But what those critics don't know is that the NBA didn't turn a profit for decades, yet players were still paid like kings. The league invested in its stars, promoted personalities, built narratives, and it paid off in the long run. The WNBA, well, it's expected to earn like the NBA without ever getting the same boost.
It pisses me off because I don't think there's anyone in America that supports the WNBA more than NBA players.
100%.
The NBA players support the WNBA like
the most.
More than we probably support the NBA. And it bothers me.
Let's get real. The NBA made $10 billion last year. The WNBA pulled in a fraction, around $200 million. But here's the kicker. In 2023, NBA players earned an average salary of $9.6 million. WNBA players, just $147,745. If the WNBA followed the same split, Clark, Stewart, and Wilson would be making millions, not scraps. What's even worse is that most of the WNBA's revenue isn't reinvested in its stars. It goes to executives and league expansion experiments. Meanwhile, players take overseas contracts just to survive, risking injury and burnout along the way. No other pro athletes are treated like this, and the revenue excuse is looking more like a cover story than a real justification. Publicly, WNBA stars try to play it cool. They talk about growing the game and being patient, but in private, the frustration is boiling over, and a new wave of players are done being silent. They see the NBA's billions and wonder, why are we still getting crumbs?
The W thinks that they don't have to pay us more in order for us to be here. And I think I didn't express that when I first talked about prioritization, you know.
Skylar Diggins-Smith once said she had to play pregnant just to keep her salary.
It's different, you know. I question, like, could I do this? Did I want to do this? Like, I didn't feel like I wanted to keep playing. I didn't know.
Liz Cambage called out Team USA and the league for being racist and elitist, and recently Asia Wilson flat out said she deserves NBA level pay, sparking another media frenzy. The players aren't just fed up, they're starting to name names. Some stars are even hinting at breaking away from the WNBA entirely if conditions don't change. Others are pushing for a union revolt, demanding revenue transparency and better contracts. It's a brewing labor war, and if the WNBA doesn't act fast, it may face its biggest internal collapse ever, because once the stars walk, the league walks with them. They say the WNBA doesn't bring in the same money, so the players don't deserve the same pay. But what if that's not the full story? What if the revenue does exist, but it's just never shared fairly?
If I'm not mistaken, I might have saw something that said NBA players get 9% of NBA revenue, WNBA
No,
revenue.
that's the WNBA. Get 9% of the revenue.
Let's get that up a little bit more. That's all. That's all.
The NBA pulls in over $10 billion annually, yet WNBA players barely see a fraction of their own value. And here's where it gets ugly. The NBA owns nearly half the WNBA. That means they control sponsorships, marketing deals, and broadcast rights, all the pipelines to money. But instead of investing in growth, they play the same "you don't earn enough" card. Imagine being told to sell out a stadium with no promotion, no primetime slot, and no fair split of the profits.
I think it woke up the league as well to know that we came in there on business. Don't get it twisted, like, yeah, we're basketball players, but we still know the business, of the business side of things, and we want our share, we want what we deserve.
We have a long way to go. We're going to use this weekend to show our value and our worth and continue to be united because we do deserve more.
This isn't just about equal pay, it's about equal opportunity. If the WNBA had even 1/10 of the NBA's marketing budget, would we still be blaming them for low revenue? Wouldn't it be more fair to ask who is suppressing the WNBA's value rather than why it's not rising fast enough? Well, that's the real billion-dollar lie, and the league knows it. Let's talk merchandise. Because while NBA stars rake in millions from jersey sales, WNBA players are barely on the shelves. Try walking into a store and finding a Caitlin Clark or Asia Wilson jersey. Good luck. The league says there's no demand, but how can people buy what's never available? In 2023, several WNBA players were outselling male rookies in online jersey orders, and yet retail stores still won't stock their names. Even the league's own website was caught lacking basic inventory for its biggest stars. You can't say women don't sell if you never actually try to sell them. This isn't just an oversight, it's systemic neglect. NBA players get commercials, clothing lines, and signature shoes. Meanwhile, the WNBA struggles for basic visibility in the merch game. The money is there, but the gatekeepers are deciding who gets to shine. Here's what fans don't get told. NBA players receive 50% of league revenue. WNBA players barely 20%, and that's on a good day. So this isn't just about salaries. It's about a rigged system from the top down. You can't climb the ladder when the first step is missing. People love to scream market value like it's some sacred law of nature, but in reality, market value is manipulated by investment, media exposure, and deliberate league decisions. If the WNBA got the same TV time, the same sponsorship access, and the same infrastructure, the value would explode. You don't get Serena Williams or Simone Biles without first giving them a stage. And here's the kicker. WNBA players aren't even demanding 50-50. They're asking for fair revenue sharing based on what they generate. Let them eat what they kill. That's the motto in the NBA, right? Unless, of course, you're a woman. Then the rules mysteriously change. Most WNBA stars aren't just athletes, they're global nomads. Why? Well, because their US salaries are so low, they're forced to play year-round just to survive. Brittany Griner was earning $1 million per season in Russia, 6 times her WNBA salary at the time. By contrast, the NBA's lowest paid players earned $1.1 million without leaving home. This isn't ambition, it's economic exile. Players risk injury, exhaustion, and even imprisonment just to earn what male rookies make sitting courtside. And yet, fans still ask why don't they just stay home and grow the league? Well, because staying home doesn't pay the rent, let alone build a legacy. This double life is the WNBA's open wound, and the league rarely talks about it. It's not just a financial burden, it's a mental and physical one. No offseason means no real recovery, no marketing runs, no brand deals, and no balance. The NBA pampers its stars with load management, while the WNBA players get back-to-back continents. If that's not exploitation wrapped in silence, I don't know what is. And then you have Caitlin Clark, the new media darling with a three-point shot and $1 million smile. Her arrival lit up the league. It drew new eyeballs and filled arenas. Caitlin Clark's rookie contract is just $76,535, yet her jersey sold out in hours, and the league is pulling millions in new viewership and sponsorships with her as the poster child. But here's the question. Is the league lifting all players or just riding one name to cash in fast? Because the pay gap isn't shrinking, it's just hiding behind her stardom. Veterans like Asia Wilson and Arike Ogunbowale have been grinding for years, yet suddenly one rookie dominates every headline, every highlight reel, every promo spot. And that's not Caitlin's fault. It's how the system cherry picks its golden girl.
Ball game, Richards on the floor. Clark, the step back three just below the logo, drills it.
It's easier to market one superstar than fight for structural reform. The Caitlin effect is real, but so is the resentment it's creating. Teammates, rivals, fans, they're all starting to notice the imbalance in treatment, opportunity, and exposure. If the WNBA wants to grow with Caitlin, it better stop growing around everyone else. Otherwise, we're just replacing one kind of favoritism with another. So let's call out another villain, the media. Because the same networks that glorify NBA contracts barely blink at WNBA milestones. Sabrina Ionescu's record-breaking 37-point performance crushed Steph Curry's 31-point NBA record.
Incredible! Sabrina Ionescu, you bet! The greatest performance we have ever.
Yet, ESPN gave it less than 15 seconds of primetime airtime that day. If Steph had done it, it'd be on every sports ticker for a week. Media coverage drives perception, and perception shapes value. When ESPN buries WNBA highlights beneath cornhole replays, fans internalize that disrespect. Then, those same fans turn around and claim women's basketball is boring or unprofitable, and it's not a coincidence. It's a carefully maintained illusion. And don't forget the trolls, the ones who say get back in the kitchen every time a highlight goes viral. The WNBA isn't just fighting for pay, they're fighting a cultural war of visibility, and that war is rigged by algorithms, airtime, and outdated thinking. If fans really want equality, they've got to change the media diet they've been fed for decades. This isn't just about dollar signs, it's about dignity. It's about finally recognizing that the talent, sweat, and sacrifice of WNBA players is not worth less. The numbers don't lie, but the people interpreting them often do. The WNBA generated $200 million in 2023, but only $16 million went to player salaries. Compare that to the NBA's $10 billion haul, with over $5 billion flowing straight to the players. And now, fans are waking up. This movement isn't asking for NBA paychecks, it's demanding WNBA justice, equal revenue sharing, real investment, and honest marketing. And if the NBA truly supports women, it's time to stop talking and start paying, because you can't claim to love the game while starving half the league. Now, if you've made it this far, you already know the truth isn't black and white, it's green. And if you believe the players deserve better, hit that subscribe button right now, because we'll be exposing the numbers, the lies, and the power plays behind the scenes. Because this fight isn't over, it's just getting started.